Hare Krishna, good morning, my dear ones, Prabhus and Matajis. Hare Krishna, my soul sisters and soul brothers. Again, there was a question, ano yung playlist na yun? That was, you can check out sa Spotify, Iskon Kirtan. And also, yung isang playlist is, Kirtan is the safest place. I'll type it. Para you could have your Kirtan accompaniment kapag may ginagawa kayo. Iskon Kirtan playlist sa Spotify and Kirtan is the safest place. Yeah, Kirtan is the chanting together of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and also by the accompaniment ng musical instrument, mga traditional, sometimes may mga modern din. So hello. Good morning. Abby, Hare Krishna, Caris, Hare Krishna, Gigi, Hare Krishna, John, Hare Krishna, Levi, Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Mel, Hare Krishna, Shay, Hare Krishna, back to Oliver, Hare Krishna. Yes. Namaste, Hare Krishna. So you know the drill, everyone. We should be in the right mood. In the mood of request, in the mood of humility. So we should offer our respectful obeisances and respects sa ating mga teachers. Because of them, we are learning something that is beneficial for our material life, much more into our spiritual life. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tashmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpataruvhyascha Kripa Sindhuvya Evacha Patitanam Pavanevyo Vaishnanevyo Namo Namaha. So if you could hear and see me clearly, isang like naman dyan. And thank you for opening your camera, Gigi. Yes. Wonderful to be personally seeing you. If you could open your camera, that would be fine. And wonderful. If not because of the internet, I would understand. So, sino nakakatanda ng acronym natin last yoga philosophy? Last Monday. Anong acronym natin last time? Chapter 2. 4-letter words. Buklatin nyo na yung mga notebook nyo kung may notebook kayo. Much better. Yan, Gita. Our Gita is, Guru is, we need a guru to learn in all aspect of life. Our very first guru is the mother. And we have a lot of gurus. But of course, in finding a spiritual guru is very important. And we should not just be following blindly. Especially if we're talking about faith, the yoga philosophy, the meditation. Should be in the line of disciplic succession. So, hindi basta-basta rin magiging guru isang tao just because may followers siya. There should be a lineage na may guru din siya, tas may guru din siya. And he is accepted by the other saintly persons that he is qualified to become a guru. So, it is not just for certification. Si Arjuna accepted Krishna as his guru. Sino ba yung mas qualified to the Supreme? Because he's the Supreme. Even all the demigods, they worship Krishna. Identity is the first lesson na ituturo sa atin. Knowing who we really are. Mahirap gawin yung mga bagay kung hindi mo kilala yung sarili mo. So that's the identity. We have the two duties. That is the Swadharma and Dharma. The duty of the soul and the duty of the body. When one is doing that, we have at marama or self-satisfaction. So welcome sa ating Essence of Bhagavad Gita, the Yoga Philosophy. We are in the session 4. Tama ba? 4. Fourth session ng ating Yoga Philosophy. So, 8 session na natin in total. Bilis, no? So, this is Karma Yoga. So again, we often hear karma. Karma is not just masama. Oh, karma mo yan. No, karma is good and bad karma. It means activities that will be good or bad. And you will have a reaction there, good or bad reaction. So that's karma. But when you put yoga, it's connecting to link to the Supreme. Your activity should be linked to the Supreme. So that's the big difference. And our acronym for today is TREE. Just like the puno. Diba? TREE. The tree is producing fruits, giving oxygen, giving shade, giving shelter sa mga animals and insects na tumitira sa kanya. All the parts ng tree, madalas magagamit lahat. Pwede siya magbigay ng water, pwede siya magbigay ng fruits, flowers, medicine. So that's the duty of the tree. Pero, hindi lahat ng entities is may good intentions sa tree. Yung iba is seeing the tree as a furniture, as a shelter, and others. And minsan kailangan siyang putulan to be used in other function. Pero yung magpuputol sa tree, yung lumberjack, he's still giving a shade sa araw. He's doing his duty. And minsan yung tree, pag naputol na, tutubo pa rin siya. For what? To do his duty. So that is the activity we will talk about in this chapter. That is chapter 3 of your Bhagavad Gita, of our Bhagavad Gita. We're talking about doing the duty ng isang living entity natin. Hare Krishna sa mga bagong join. Hello, Monica. Jonah. Dave. Hello. So, letter T ng ating acronym is Tyaga. This is another Sanskrit name. It means renunciation. So, just like Arjuna, he wanted to stop and he wanted to abort yung pag-join niya sa war. Even siya yung isang main personality doon. He just want to escape, to meditate in the forest. Pero hindi yun yung duty niya because he's a soldier, Kshatriya. So we could see other people doing this, immature spiritualists. They think they practice spirituality, they will retire in any circumstances, responsibilities, and duties nila sa buhay. They will leave yung relationship nila, they will become impersonal, they will not talk. Kasi spiritual person na ako, hindi na ako pupunta sa family ko, hindi ko na sila kakausapin. Iwanan mo yung responsibility. No, that is just escaping. There's a big difference of spirituality and escaping. But the newer ones, ito yung thinking nila. They want to escape because they are in the mood ng immature spiritualists. They adopt monasticism in strict seclusion. They just hide themselves, trying to save themselves only. Or yung dami na natatakasan problema. Yes, they do escape. And may mga tao na ganito talaga. They do escape. If di na gusto yung nangyayari, mawawala sila. If di na na-trip yung relationship, i-ghost ka na lang. Bago ka natutunan yung ghosting niya. If maraming responsibilities, resign, or minsan awol. Ang daming problema, tago sila. Or sometimes, they would commit suicide. It's an escape still. But those who commit suicide, those who escape, try to escape, hindi talaga sila nakatakas. Kasi, the reaction is still there. Like Arjuna, hindi siya pwedeng tumakas sa war. A soldier, hindi siya pwedeng maging coward. Because there will be a court-martial awaiting. Didemanda siya. That's a sin. Same with us. If you're a parent, hindi mo gampanan yung pagiging parent because spiritual kang tao or renounce, iwanan mo yun. It is not the real spirituality. That is immature spiritualist. What more if you end your life? Hindi ka makakatakas lalo. Kasi the desire is still there. The problem is still there. Depressed ka pa rin. May anxious ka pa rin. Anxiety ka pa rin. Galit ka pa rin. But you cannot do anything because you have a ghost body already. Tumatagos ka na sa pader. Hindi ka na naririnig ng mga kausap mo. Pero yung mga ghosts, they still experience hunger, thirst. They still want to enjoy sexual intercourse. May envy pa rin sila. They still have those desires. They're still continuing their life, but in a different body already. In a ghostly or subtle body. But meron silang boon. May power sila. They could see, they could know kung sino yung nakakakita sa kanila. Kaya pag may third eye, diba? Pupuntahan sila palagi. Kasi dami nilang gustong favor. Dami unfinished business. So yeah, you cannot escape really. So this is not the duty ng isang spiritual person, ng isang yogi. So if you have your Bhagavad Gita, you can open it. It's 3.9. Please mark it and read it on your free time. Make time. Don't just find time. Make time to read. Yung mga dinidiscuss natin na bago, yan, dumating na si Marina, nahabol na niya. Yung mga dinidiscuss natin ng verse, take note of it. Sobrang importante itong mga to. Ibig sabihin, na-highlight natin siya kasi may essence ng Bhagavad Gita. So 3.9, Yagnartat karmano nyatra lokoyam karma bandana tadartam karma konteya mukta sangha samachara. Translation: work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work binds one to this material nature. Therefore, O son of Kunti, that's Arjuna, nanay niya si Kunti, perform your prescribed duties for his satisfaction, and in that way, you will always remain unattached and free from bondage. This is Krishna speaking, and he's speaking about attachment kay Vishnu. Si Krishna rin si Vishnu. Incarnation niya si Vishnu. So don't be bewildered. Expansion niya si Vishnu. Si Vishnu galing kay Krishna. But during this time, bumaba si Krishna as Krishna. And kausap niya si Arjuna. So sabi daw, our activities, our duties, our work should be done in offering kay Krishna, kay Vishnu. Otherwise, it will be cause of bondage. Same thing. If a soldier kills a person na may sanction ng mga general, may chain of command, wala siyang kasalanan doon. Pero if he kill a person without any sanction, that's a murder. Kaya soldier siya. Same thing in our activities. It should be directed. Kaya tinatawag na karma yoga. Saan directed yung mga activities natin everyday? It should be directed in offering to the Supreme. Even the yoga. Oh, that's why magiging Ashtanga yoga na yun. Pero the process is connection. Otherwise, daw it will be a cause of bondage. Bakit? It will be a cause ng ating karma. Good and bad karma. Bakit kaya siya titawag na bondage? Kasi we have to take birth again for that good and bad karma. Hindi ibig sabihin karma, you will get it this lifetime. The things that we're getting now, a lot of it is coming from our previous life. The things that we're doing now, a lot of it we will get in the future lives. Kaya hindi makakataka. Sabihin mo, uy, parang ang sama-sama niyang tao tapos fortunate siya ngayon. Baka mabait siya dati kaya fortunate siya ngayon. Ngayon masama na siya. Next life siya sisingilin. May mga tao na, alam mo yun, natural na maswerte. That's karma. Karma nila yon. Ginawa nila last life yon. Tumulong sila ng madami. So bumabalik sila in many folds. Bumabalik sa kanila in many folds. Yung iba sobrang bait pero nakaka-experience siya ng a lot of sufferings. Past lives. So it answers kung bakit pinapanganak tayo sa Pilipinas, bakit hindi tayo sa royal family sa, anak ng queen. Diba? Same lang naman pinanganak eh, because of our past. We have desires and activities and decision makings. So yung law of attraction, totoo yun. Not just for this lifetime. mangyayari yun. Nangyayari siya. Kung saan mo dinadirect yung desire mo, doon pupunta yung thinking mo, then doon pupunta yung willingness mo to do your activities. So that explains yung karma. So our activity should be directed to the Supreme, offering it. But you should not stop. If you're working, then connect it to Krishna, to the Supreme. Just like George Harrison. Artist siya, musician siya, dinirect niya. So that's you call karma yoga, and it will be considered bhakti yoga if you put love and devotion. We'll talk about it further in the future chapters. But the activities that we're doing should connect it to Krishna. Otherwise, wala. Cause of bondage. If one connects it to Krishna, wala kang bondage. We call it akarma, no karma. We will discuss this also. So this verse explains that the activities may cause us to stay much more in this material world, experiencing the samsara or tinatawag na cycle of birth and death. Kita niyo na ba? Yan. Nawala. So this is Krishna speaking, and he is addressing Arjuna as the son of Kunti. So mostly, makikita natin sa Bhagavad Gita, Krishna have many names. It will be addressed, Arjuna is addressing, depende sa pastime ni Krishna, sa glorification ni Krishna, yung activities niya, Madhusudan. Ganun din si Arjuna. Iba-ibang names. Depende sa descendant niya, son of Bharat, son of Kunti, son of Pandu. So this is endearment. Diba pag may very dear sa'yo, you call sweetheart, babe, diba? Love, that's endearment. Sa friends, ganun din. Brother, tall, bro. Kay Krishna may ganun. Pero may meaning, depende sa ina-address nila. Ina-address nila sa kay Krishna. So just like Krishna is addressing Arjuna, you're the son of Kunti, your mother is a great devotee. All her activities is connecting to Krishna. So ganon. It's may deeper level. Although papag-aralan natin yan in the future. Yung further level ng Bhagavad Gita verses. So letter R is ranks of ladder, yoga ladder. Sino dito yung nakarinig na tong yoga ladder na to in their yoga teacher's training? So yes, hindi pa masyado daw kasi diniscuss to. Sometimes very light lang. Yan, si John, si Monica. This is the yoga ladder. There are different types and much more in depth. This is, don't be bewildered sa mga terminologies. Madali lang to. Madali lang intindihan to mga to. So, same, yoga ladder is just like a lifestyle. When one is committing to that lifestyle. But ladder kasi going, advancing in spiritual lifestyle. We know, meron mga animalistic life. Tao that living like an animal. Hindi naman sila gumagapang or kumakahol. Pero the same principle ng animal life. Ano yon? Eating, mating, defending, and sleeping. These four. Eating, mating, defending, sleeping. These four, ito lang activities ng animal. Ano kakainin? Have to hunt, have to protect, have to defend, have to mate. Have to preserve their species of life. And have to sleep. Yung tao, kapag ganito yung ginagawa niya, eating, mating, defending, sleeping, he's living an animalistic life. He may be eating in a restaurant, 5-star hotel, restaurant, Michelin star pala, ng mga restaurant. Same, eating. Defending, yung mga animals, may mga claws, may mga canine, yung skin nila, either may mga thorn, may venom sila. Same, yung tao, they could put locks, they could hire a guard, bodyguard, they could study martial arts. Defending. Of course, yung animals mas best doon. Pinanganak na silang ganon. Like yung mga gorilla, yung mga in that species, hindi nila kailangan mag-gym. Malaki talaga katawan nila. That's their nature. Yung nature nila to have that. Yung lion, wala silang may undertraining sila para maging lion. No, ganun talaga sila. Yung tao, you have to work on that. Para mapunta sa ganun level. So, mas extreme pa sila. Same thing with eating pala sa tao saka sa animals. Yung animals could eat much more. Diba? Fresh pa nga eh. Unless kumakain lang sila ng dog food. Pero they could hunt with the pride, diba? Na kakainin nila yung na-hunt nila. So, sleeping, same. Sleeping. So, matulog ka sa magandang memory foam in a 5-star hotel. The animals could sleep also. Pero, mas lamang yung animals. Kasi, some like the bears could hibernate for 6 months. Kung goal of life mo matulog lang. Hindi ka mako-compare dun sa bear. And sex, people are doing this. Animals are doing this also. Only thing is the humans are abusing this sexual intercourse. The animals, you will see na they do it for pag in-heat sila. Diba, yung pusa, maririnig mo yung aso, ganun din. May mga animals that could have intercourse couple of times, more than 10 times in a day. Yung tao, for what? How many times a day? So they're very big victim of these sexual desires. And yung humans. Pero lamang uli yung animals. Like the rabbits. May rabbit dito. Si Marie. Yan. Rabbits, the dove. Diba? Ay, meron din si Chloe. So, they do intercourse a lot of times in a day na hindi magagawa ng tao. So, that is animalistic life. If human is doing the same thing, he's living an animalistic life. Actually, if one is attached to that activity, pupunta siya sa body na yun. At addict sila sa sex, yeah, you'll have next life, bibigyan ka ng material nature to have a body of a rabbit or dove para ma-fulfill mo yun. Diba? That's the nature. Bibigay sa'yo. That's your desire. That's your law of attraction. Ano na pag namatay ka thinking of that, doon ka pupunta. If you want to be good in defending, diba? Bibigyan ka ng ganun. An animal body na good in defending. Diba? If you, bonobo, monkey, ito ba yung malaki katawan? So if that's your goal in life, mamamatay ka na, nag-iisip ka pa mag-gym. Bigyan ka ng next life. That's material nature. That's your attraction. That's your desire. Sex life, bibigyan ka nun. Sleeping, bigyan ka ng bear. Kaya eating lang gusto mo, bigyan ka ng hog body. Kain na kain. Walang discrimination. Animalistic life. But what is the difference having a human body compared to an animal is the self-realization process. They could question, what is the purpose of life? Yung human, kaya nilang gawin yun. They could inquire, they could have a guru. They could study yoga philosophy. They could do yoga kasi doon na naman kinopya yun, downward dog, crow position. Natural nga sa kanila yun. Pero the process of this, only humans could do. So if the one is not going into this self-realization process, he's living in a life same as an animal. Unrestricted sense gratification. Sinusod lang nila yung senses nila. Para yung horse, unrestricted yung horse, gano'n lang sila mabuhay. Sense gratification, drugs, eating, sleeping, mating, defending. So that's animalistic life. So, hopefully, malagpasan natin yon. Lahat tayo galing daw. We don't have any idea of this. We were born in this society. Kinalimutan nila yung ganitong knowledge. And the media is feeding us na ganito yung success ng buhay. But it is not. So ito yung hinaharap natin palagi. Anong purpose ng buhay? So we're looking for that self-realization. Kahit naman Maslow's hierarchy of needs, di ba? Basic needs, love and belongingness, di ba? Self-realization, self-actualization. Because that's what Hindi lang na-explain na maayos. So next is Karma Kanda. This is Karma Kanda, different from Karma Yoga. Karma Kanda, they do their activities. But their goal is yung return. They will donate kasi may return. Diba? Fame, tatakbo pala ng politics, or may favor siyang hilingin. In a bigger scale, they will do something kasi next life, ito yung babalik sa kanya. They will remain rich, aristocratic. In that kind of intention, so importante yung intention and consciousness. Ito yun. They regulate their activities kasi alam nila to, karma kanda. Good and bad karma. Even if they have money, they cleanse the money. Kasi money is the greatest vehicle of karma. Daming karma ng money. So they regulate, they cleanse the money, they donate. Kaya yung mga old rich, alam nila to. Sa Chinese tradition, sa Africa, sa Indian, yung mga talagang with a long history. Alam nila how to cleanse the money. Para mabawasan yung karma. So same thing. They know this. Karma Kanda. You could also read this Vedas. Karma Kanda. But that is not our goal. Next level is Sakama Karma Yoga. So may yoga na. Kinokonekta na yung activities to the Supreme. Pero it is still Sakama. It means selfish. They're doing activities for their own benefit lang. Selfish. So same, Nishkama is selfless. Ito na yung start ng sadhana bhakti. They're doing the activities, pero hindi lang yung iniisip yung sarili niya, sense gratification niya. He's thinking to connect to the Supreme, to himself, to others. He wants to save others also, to awaken them. This is a start. Then, next is Bhakti Yoga, highest form. So, meron dito mas elaborate pa, extended. Same nandyan yung animalistic life, karma, activities, good and bad karma, selfish, selfless na activities. Then nandyan yung Jnana Yoga, studying the Vedas but without action. Puro study lang. Gusto lang niya salba yung sarili niya. Pero it would not happen. And mostly, they worship, the goal niya is nothingness, to escape the other down this. Na-exhaust na siya dun sa activity sa buhay. To escape. Jnana Yoga. As well as the Ashtanga Yoga. Ashtanga Yoga is puro work. Puro activities din. Which is Ashtanga. The other parts of yoga system. Nandito. Mystic powers. The highest is still Bhakti Yoga. This is the ladder. Hindi ibig sabihin ladder to, this lifetime malalagpasan mo lahat yan. Yung iba, many lifetimes lang sila nasa animalistic life. You could see yung mga old people now, nandito pa rin sa animalistic life. It's not a reason na tumanda na tayo. May maturity, much more spiritual maturity. Yung iba nakastuck dito for this lifetime, many lifetimes. Ganon din sa Karma Kanda, hindi lang one lifetime. Ganon din sa Kama Nishkama. Even Gyan or Ashtanga. Sometimes you have to wait for thousands of lifetime pa bago ka makakit. So don't believe na yung existence ng Earth is, say 3,000 years? Dahil ayun lang yung na-trace nila. No. So it's a limited brain ng mga nag-collect ng ganong idea. You can see the Veda in the Vedas. We will talk about it also. Ashtanga Yoga, gano'n din. Then bago sila makapunta ng Bhakti Yoga. So even the demigods who are doing Ashtanga Yoga, even si Lord Shiva, is doing Bhakti Yoga. Doon nanggaling yung yoga flows, asanas. Even the Jnana Yoga, Sarasvati, the goddess of learning, same. He's worshiping Krishna, the Supreme. So hindi yan pupuntahan natin. Lalagpasan natin to lahat. That's the Bhakti Yoga. Kasi there is letter E, Express Elevator. Sa 3 natin, letter E, Express Elevator. We don't want to be stuck sa bawat rung of ladder na to. We have a limited time, a limited and this rare life of being a human kasi sobrang rare. There are 8,400,000 species of life. Mahirap maging human. Isipin mo sa paligid mo ang daming living entity, pwede ka pumunta sa mga yon. If you're in this human body, you should not waste it for self-realization. So even we are in animalistic life in this lifetime, if we have encountered mga Bhakti yogis, we have their association, then we are on the path of sadhana. They're guiding us in our sadhana. That's why we're doing sadhana, everyday chanting. Sino nag-chant everyday? Since the start natin, 1 round of chanting, 2 rounds of chanting, 3 rounds of chanting. Are you chanting Marina? Hindi pa. You should chant every day. That's sadhana. The yoga for fitness fall under Sakama yoga if the goal is to feel physically good. So it may be sa intention kasi mostly nandito sa Ashtanga yoga talaga yung yoga asanas. Depende doon sa progress niya. But of course, it will be mixed. Depende sa buhay niya. Baka Ashtanga yoga lang siya habang nasa yoga mat. It's not doing the yama ni yama. It's not lifestyle. Tapos andito pa rin siya sa animalistic life. Nag-exercise lang siya ng Ashtanga yoga. So we have to elevate. That's the duty of yoga teachers. Elevate. Not just to teach people how to perform yoga. Ang daming pwede magturo noon. Mas magaling nga yung mga acrobats, di ba? Kaya nila talaga mag-bend. Mag-flex. Tapos yung mga breather, ganun din. Mga nagpa-pranayama. So same. Anong level nung consciousness aside from lifestyle, nung consciousness natin? So, express elevator, we should do sadhana bhakti. This is the process of bhakti yoga. So, kung nakikita nyo, it's a big jump. It's a big jump. Pero, ito yung sabi sa scriptures. Yung iba na sa process ng bhakti yoga ngayon lifetime na to, sometimes, previous life nag-bhakti yoga na tayo, but we haven't finished it yet. We have to continue. Or, nadaanan na natin lahat to mga to. And the rest is pupunta tayo sa bhakti yoga. Ngayon lang lumabas yung lifetime. Kaya yung iba talagang attached sila sa yoga system, Ashtanga yoga, magaling talaga sila. Alam na itong mga to. Kasi daanan natin to one way or the other. We wouldn't know. We wouldn't know kasi previous life yon. There's a gift of forgetfulness. Kung dinaanan natin, paano tayo napunta sa bhakti yoga. But now we are here in that level, just continue. You're here in the express elevator, continue. Still, that is action. We are not escaping yung life natin. Hindi ibig sabihin you practice bhakti is kailangan maging monk. No. Different duty, different swadharma tayo. So kung yoga teacher ka, kung nag-office ka, businessman ka, artist ka, that's your duty. Pero kailangan mong gawing bhakti yogi, bhakti yoga process. Like si Arjuna, perfect example, soldier siya. Kaya yung war, saka in a royal position yung Bhagavad Gita, we could all relate. Siya, nakokonekta niya yun eh. Nadadovetail niya, nagigoga niya, nalilink niya. So us, we could do it also. We should not escape our responsibilities. So in that way, the first step is doing the sadhana. In the everyday practice, that is the chanting, the reading, the hearing, association. It will take you 1 hour? Or 1.5 or 2 hours in a day? That's the perfect balance for a material life. It will change yung trajectory ng how we live our life in our 24 hours. Physically, at the same time, mentally. Iba mag-isip if you're doing the sadhana. Much clear, much sober. So just doing the sadhana, that's how important sadhana is. If not, balik ka ulit dito. Pwede kang balikan ng all the habits die hard. Animalistic, life. Madaling bumalik yon. That's why we need to do sadhanas. So that is express elevator of Bhakti Yoga. Sankirtan Yagna is chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. In this lifetime, in the flow ng life natin, life natin, ng creation, there are 4 yugas or era ng life. We have the 4. It's a little bit technical, but bear with me, kayang-kaya nyo to. Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga. Different life to. So, nasa Kali Yuga tayo. Then after Kali Yuga, annihilation, destructions, babalik sa Satya Yuga. The cycle. Pero ano yun hundreds and thousands of, millions of years bago umikot. For one cycle lang. So, maraming cycle yun. So, it is a cycle. Sa Satya Yuga, yung lifetime ng tao dito is 100,000 years. Mas malalaki sila. Tapos, goodness yung life nun. Sa Treta Yuga, 10,000 years. Dwapara Yuga, 1,000 years. Kali Yuga, 100. Yung mga lolo natin, sa atin, wala na. 80 na lang, 70 na lang yung lifetime natin, di ba? Yung 20 years old, 30 years old, nagkaka-high blood, nagkaka-cancer na. That is the nature of this material world. Padigrade siya ng padigrade. Kali Yuga is like that. In Satya Yuga, they will never think na magkakaroon ng pandemic. People are eating animals. People are fighting over petty things. They're much more in goodness. So degrading siya. Kali Yuga. We are in this path. So in different yugas, there are different process of self-realization. So in the Satya Yuga, they meditate. Ang advice required na self-realization is meditate. Nakita niyo yung picture last time, yung lumipad yung soul na mahaba yung beard na dreadlocks. They meditate for 10,000 years for them to perfect it. So 1/10 ng buhay nila kasi 100,000 years buhay nila. So in Treta Yuga, they do sacrifices, fire sacrifice, Agnihotra, with fire. Then madaming activities they offer, and they use gold, they use elements, and they have Brahmins or priests who recite perfect mantras. That's the process of self-realization to perfect one's spiritual life. In Treta Yuga, hanggang ngayon may makakita kang gumagawa pa rin ito and meditate. In Dwapara Yuga, the process is temple worship. Deities, that's why may mga old temples pa rin tayo. Especially in India, you would see. Si Ankh is a big Vishnu temple. Of course, dumating na yung mga Buddhist occupy, but it's all in Vastu. Vastu is the feng shui ng Vedas. Doon galing yung feng shui sa Vastu. All perfectly arranged sa mga planets and all. So the process dito is the Dwapara Yuga is to perform deity worship, temple worship. In Kali Yuga, in this lifetime, the process is to perform Sankirtan or chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That is the meditation. The easiest actually. We have little lifespan, very short, little attention. So that's the process. So that's why express elevator of Bhakti Yoga. This lifetime, this yuga, that is the prescribed. In all scriptures, it is mentioned. So kaya nakikita nyo, it will answer the history. Kaya pala yung nabuild nila yung mga malalaking pyramid, tapos yung mga status nila. Kasi statue nila, kasi malalaki sila dati. And they're much more powerful with different senses. Yung mind din nila iba. They don't use books because they transfer by the mind. So ganun yung mas advanced sila dati. Much more degraded ngayon. Ganun yung cycle ng life in Vedic cosmology. Pero it's not, hindi tayo mag-go deeper doon. If you want to know much more about it, you attend 7 to 8 a.m. in the morning ng mga classes natin every day. We go study the deeper philosophy ng yoga. Included yung mga to, creation, Vedic astrology, Vedic cosmology, a deeper study. So yes, the express elevator, the prescribed duty now is Sankirtan Yagna, or chanting of Krishna's name. the mantras. That's letter E, express elevator, because this is a verse from an incarnation of Krishna 500 years ago, Lord Chaitanya. He mentioned Cheto Darpanam Marjanam Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidya Vadu Jivanam Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam Patipadam Purnam Vitaswadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. This is the cleansing of one's heart, the cleansing of our previous karma, unwanted baggages. Lord of the Shri Krishna Sankirtan, that's the chanting of Hare Krishna, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we're always anxious. So it cleanses the heart. It cleanses our unwanted baggages, our previous karmas, our desires, by chanting. So yung analogy natin, di ba, yung cleaning the room, same, figuratively same. So, yung mga accumulated years for previous lives, mawala yon. That's why the astrology, the palm reading will not take effect to a serious bhakti yogi. Kasi you're changing your karma, you're changing your future. And the goal is to stop taking birth next lives. Kaya pag yung bhakti yogi ka talaga, and yung mga authentic na mga astrologers sa palm readers, lalo sa India, they will see, okay. Oh, so you're chanting Hare Krishna, you're doing Sankirtan. There will be no use me reading your palm. Of course, I could read it, but it will change. So that's the Sankirtan Yagna. Extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. It's like a forest fire. Wala, hindi ka makakatakas. Because of our activities, desires, good and bad karma, we will be born, we will die also, repeatedly. That's what we call samsara. Yung mga Buddhists ay yung mga malalaking mandal ang ginagawa nila. Samsara, cycle of birth and death. Sometimes lalaki ka, sometimes babae ka, naging hari ka na rin. Naging mahirap ka rin, naging beggar ka na rin. Naging bird ka na, naging crawling creeper ka na animals. Minsan sa dreams, may mga glitches na lumilipad ka. Or sa ibang places ka, may mga glitches ng past mo. Minsan yung future mo. But you cannot really 100% know. Kasi dreams are dreams. It will be mixed. The Sankirtan is the primary diction for humanity at large because with this Sankirtan, with this yoga system, yoga ladder, doing the Sankirtan is the express elevator. And it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. In the darkness, if you have the moon, it's very cooling. It is actually the moon is one factor para maging rich in nourishment yung mga vegetables and plants. Hindi lang sun, kasama yung moon doon. Life of all transcendental knowledge, kasi with all transcendental knowledge, with all scriptures, the essence is to do Sankirtan. The essence is to meditate on the Supreme. Basahin mo yung lahat ng Vedas. Is to connect to Krishna, to the Supreme, by chanting of Hare Krishna. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss. If you could remember, the Rama in our chanting is rest of all pleasure. Doon galing lahat ng pleasure, ng nararamdaman natin, bliss, ecstasy, and all. It will always remove yung lower experience natin, the depression, anxiety, and others. Enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we're always anxious. That feeling of eternal happiness, of deep spiritual happiness is what we are always looking for. Naramdaman na natin yung material happiness eh. Nakuha mo naman yung mga bagong phone or bagong branded na mga damit. Diba? Dumating naman yung order mo sa Lazada. Nakuha mo na yung mga material na bagay but hindi pa rin tapos. Yung mga successful na feeling, ina-idol natin, andun na sila. Pero they're still looking for something. There sometimes they will do charity, sometimes they will do this, they will travel, diba? Sometimes they will fail, they will still feel depressed, they will still commit suicide, kahit andun sila sa rurok na yun. Because there's no end in that. Because that's still material desires, material life. At yung hinahanap natin, the satisfaction in connecting to the Supreme. In what connection? By love and devotion, by bhakti. So let's read the translation. You can open your Bhagavad Gita 3.36 to 40. I've got my Bhagavad Gita. So this is yung small altar ko, composed of a lot of books. So the books is also same as the deities in the temple. So that's why kung naka-receive kayo nito, I will always tell you, you're the caretaker of these books. When you put it there in your house, it's already a temple. But you have to take care of it. Don't let it touch the feet, the ground, or put it in a dirty place. So yes. So pag minsan napunta ako sa likod, kala nila tawag doon parang green screen lang. Totoo pa lang. And this is actually a yoga ashram dito sa Braj Eco Village kapag may mga yoga retreats. Ginawa ko lang siyang studio kasi dito lang may internet signal. So yes, 3.36. Let's read some translation. Translation is yung mga bold letters. 36. Arjuna said, O descendant of Vrishni, by what is one impelled to sinful acts, even unwillingly, as if engaged by force? Vrishni is ancestor ni Krishna, parang mga lolo niya. Ano daw yung act na minsan ginagawa natin, even unwillingly, sinful act? So while doing this, ano daw yung kailangan? Sabi ni Arjuna, sige, ito yung express elevator. While doing this, ano yung mga bagay na could be a hindrance in the practice of the express elevator of Bhakti Yoga? Text 37, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, It is lust only, Arjuna, which is born of contact with the material modes of passion and later transformed into wrath, and which is the all-devouring sinful enemy of the world. It is lust only. Lust is the desire that one could not easily control. Sabi ka text number 38, As fire is covered by smoke, as a mirror is covered by dust, or as the embryo is covered by the womb, the living entity is similarly covered by different degrees of this lust. So, naggamit ng analogy si Krishna with 3 examples: fire covered by smoke, mirror covered with dust, not translucent, and we have opaque covering. Mas maraming covering, mas grabe yung covering sa atin ng lust. That is unwanted baggage. Kasama yun doon. That is desire. Text 39. Thus the wise living entity's pure consciousness becomes covered by his eternal enemy in the form of lust, which is never satisfied and which burns like fire. The soul, us, the real us, is pure originally. But we are in this body, we have experiences, the karma, unwanted baggages, so we are covered. And our eternal enemy, isipin mo yun, no? Eternal enemy natin, lalo na kahit nagka-practice tayo ng Bhakti Yoga, ng spiritual life, ng yoga, is lust. And it is never satisfied. Which burns like fire. Like a fire. Lagyan mo ng firewood yon. Hindi niya sabihin, teka lang, busog na ako. Tapos ko na sunugin to. Kota ko na. The more you put fire, the more it will burn. That is lust. The more you satisfy the lust, the more it will hanker. One perfect example is pag may kagat ka ng lamok, di ba? Masarap kamutin. Pero habang kinakamat mo, hindi matatapos. Mas gusto mo, mas grabe pa yung itch niya. Hanggang masugatan ka na. Same, ganun yung lust. And lust have many forms. Text 40. The senses, the mind, and intelligence are the seating places of this lust. Through them, lust covers the real knowledge of the living entity and bewilders him. So ano yung three seating place? Saan mo makikita yung lust? Mind, intelligence, and senses. Diba? The horses, the driver, and the rope. Mind, intelligence, the horses. Andyan yung lust. If may lust to mga to, andyan pa rin sila, the real self, the real knowledge will be covered. And if one is experiencing that, he is always bewildered. Just like, pag may aso ka na in-hit, di ba? Ang gulo niya. Or pag may tao na addicted sa sexual activities, wala siyang magagawang matino. Talagang, ayun yung goal ng buhay. Magharap siya ng babae, magharap siya ng lalaki, hindi siya mapapakali. They will lead their life. They will even bar up. They will spend a lot for that pleasure. Lust. Because of uncontrolled lust, even great relationship will be broken. Diba? I hate to say this. Kaya minsan ayoko nag-internet. Usong-uso daw dun sa mga influencer ngayon, mga naghihiwalayan. Because of being unfaithful. Because of lust. And of course, because of lust, a lot of crimes will be committed. For rape, they will even kill. For what? For that few minutes of pleasure. And because of lust, tumatakbo yung mundo. Advertisement. Yung favorite kong example. May billboard pa. Mag-ibenta lang ng washing machine. May nakabikini pa dun sa billboard. May car show, pero yung pinipicture ng mga guests doon, hindi yung cars. Yung mga models. Mag-ibenta ka ng alak, you will see may babae doon. May toothpaste na binibenta, magtitingin na niyo yung dalawang maganda yung ito, tapos maghahalikan sila. That's that world of advertisement, di ba? If you really, really closely look, the songs that you listen to, tapos yung pinapakinig mo sa anak mo, pakinggan mo maigi, same. Same, talking about this lust. Kasi mabenta siya. Action hero na movie, kailangan may sex scene. Di naman kailangan ipasok yun pero kailangan na ilagay. Because it sells. Kasi very servant yung mind ng tao dito sa lust na to. And if one controls this, one is untouchable. So ito yung eternal enemy. Hierarchy, sitting place ng lust. Mind is higher than the senses. Intelligence is higher than the mind. Soul is higher than intelligence. It's the senses, andun yung lust. If you have a strong mind, you can control the senses. Magagawa mo lang yun. If you have a strong intelligence. And if you have food for the soul palagi. Yeah. Which is chanting of Hare Krishna. Controlling this lust. And this lust doesn't... generally, it talks about the sexual intercourse. But in other things also, the power, dominance, it's all lust. The lust for money. And this is the assignment. So, yung mga nagpasa ng assignment, salamat. Yung mga hindi pa, maswerte kayo. Ito na naman yung mga sagot. 2.62 and 2.63. Tumatawa si Chloe kasi alam ko yung mga hindi, kasi onti kayo ngayon, kaya alam ko yung mga wala pang assignment. Huwag ka magtago. So yes, pwede kayo mag-copyan sa mga ganitong questions. Pero yung realization, hindi nyo pwedeng copyan yun. That's on your own realization. Process of fall down, even if you're a yogi. It starts with the senses, contemplating on the object of the senses. Isipin mo ng isipin. Hindi ka makapakali. Isipin mo lang ng isipin, you'll be attached to it. And you'll be lustful for that. Lagi mo iniisip. And if the lust is unfulfilled, anger arises. Hindi ma-fulfill. Init ulo nila. Like the dogs. Pag inhit sila, di ba? Parang irritable. Ganun din, di ba? May mga ganun na tao. Irritable. Then if after that, complete delusion. After anger, delusion. Di ba yung ibang mga nakagawa na masama dahil sa galit sila? Feeling nila ang dami nilang powers, dami nilang lakas. Dahil galit sila, naghahamon sila ng fight. They will say things, delusional. There will be bewilderment of memory. There will be bewilderment of memory. Even loved ones mo, pag galit ka, minsan masakta mo siya by words or by actions. So, todo sorry kapag tapos. Hindi ko sinasadya. Same. Intelligence is lost. You cannot think well. Think straight. And falls down to the material pool. In different ways, it will be the process of fall down. Much more in the lust, but you can process it in your diet. Isipin mo na isipin, manood ka na manood. Tingnan mo yung mga McDonald's and BTS, tapos naka-diet ka. Habang kakaisip mo yung kakatingin mo dyan, you'll be attached. Hanggang one or the other, pipila order mo na siya. So, sira na yung diet mo. Quick na yun. In that example. So, that's why a yogi controls his senses, not stop it. Hindi ibig sabihin pag yogi ka, hindi ka nakakain. Of course, there are restrictions and rules and regulations na yaman with the diet ng isang yogi. Pero one should be in control. Hindi ibig sabihin, stop mo na yon. Just like seeing or speaking. Some other mauna vrat or the vow of being silent, being mute. Kasi sabi nila yung words daw is attachment. Is material. No? The wrong use of it, the wrong use of not in control of the words. But we have to dovetail it. That's the term, dovetailing, yukta vairagya or dovetailing. What you have, you must dovetail. You must connect. That's yoga. But there's rules and regulation. If you are working as a matador, working in slaughterhouse, so personal advice for you, Krishna will make way for you to change that work. Kasi it will just bridge you to commit a lot of karma. It destroys the mind mentality. It destroys, even in psychology, psychiatric, wala rito, si Jonah yan. If you're studying psychiatry ng mga tao, those who are doing this kind of work and activities, sila yung mga mass murderers and all. If mahilig ka sa mga documentaries, you will see the connection of the activities and the consciousness. So, we wish to have our activities in the mode of goodness and dovetail it to our connection to Krishna. But we don't have to stop. We call it dovetailing. You don't need to stop doing yoga or teaching yoga kasi sabi ni Radha Charan, dito yung top mo sa yoga ladder. No, do it. I do still do my yoga asana. It maintains the body and soul together. Brings the mind at peace, controls the senses, help to control the sense. Lalo na sa aming brahmacharis or the celibate monks. We must be always be aware of that passionate or the lust, the mind. So just do it. The lust, sabi ni Krishna, is always there, eternal. But what we have here in the material world is a perverted reflection ng totoong love in the spiritual world. Ngayon, baliw na baliw yung tao sa love. Pero they don't know it's just lust. Love song, pero yung usapan, yung lyrics dun sa kanta nila is just sex. Love dun. ang sarap lang kasi pakinggan ng totoo, yung mga pinapakinggan, not just the groove, the beat, but it goes into your consciousness kasi if you're not aware, the food you eat, the stimulus sa paligid natin, it goes into your consciousness. Kaya you must be aware of it. Kung ano yung binibigay sa'yo ng society. Di ba pag September na tutulog na sa SM ng mga Christmas song, kinukondisyon ka na nila malapit, mag-shopping ka na kasi magkapasko na. Isipin mo na yung re-regaluhan mo. Isipin mo na yung same. That's it. If you're thinking like in marketing and advertisement, or just thinking very broad, mapapansin mo to. But if you're just entertained, hindi. Kundi mo to, yung idol ko suot to. Pag-ipunan ko rin to. Sabi nila, ito yung success, this condo. So yes, love is like that. But it is spiritual love, galing sa spiritual world. When you're in the material world, people have different perceptions of love, but it is mostly loss. If there's loss, there's love. Pero you have to convert it. You have to spiritualize it. How? That's a process of Krishna consciousness, connecting it to Krishna. Yoga. Even the passion, even your sexual passion, you can connect it into your yoga. It's a great energy. It's a great intelligence, great power actually. You don't waste that power. The most vital fluid sa katawan ng tao could create a life. And if you're just wasting it, nakikita mo yung mga addicts sa sex, they're depressed. Same. So yes, transforming loss into love for Krishna by the process of Krishna consciousness. Kasi andyan na yung love. Kaya tinatawag na dormant love. Natutulog na yung love na yan for Krishna in the heart. Pero covered lang siya nung material element, ng unwanted baggages. So by the process of chanting, it will be cleansed and your love will be awakened. So if there's loss, don't worry. Roda chara, paano to? Last year. Don't worry, transform it to love. And even anger, actually, pwede mo matransform. Doesn't mean pag yogi ka, tapos may magana ako sa bahay mo, tapos yun ni yogi ako, bawal ako magalit. Sir, please, pwede ba kayo lumabas na lang? No. Pag may aggressor, di ba, napag-usapan natin aggressor, you could use your anger to defend. Sometimes you can use your anger to discipline yourself. Kapag magulo na yung boardroom meeting nyo, di ba? Exert yung anger ng leader, which is ikaw, to control yung mga voices na yan. You can use that. But you must be in control. Just like a parent, pagpapaluin niya yung child nila. Ewan ko, kung sa Pilipinas pwede pa rin, sa ibang bansa pwede mo nang tumawag ng 911 kapag pinalo. Pero yeah, me personally, naging mabait ako, feeling ko kasi pinalo ako. But yeah, when one is giving that discipline, pag pinapalo niya yung anak niya, mag-action galit, di ba? Yung parent. But in control. Kasi if hindi, masaktan talaga niya yun. Hopefully, doon tayo sa side na in control yung anger. Then after, i-explain mo bakit ginawa to, para ito yung lesson, diba? To discipline you, kasi ito yung consequences. You're in control. Hindi mo pwedeng galit ka sa workmates mo or sa boss mo, or galit ka sa employees mo. Pag uwi mo ng bahay, galit ka rin doon, i-divert mo yung galit mo sa asawa mo, sa anak mo. You must be in control. How to use this. So you need to know how to use the passion, the anger. You must be in control. You spiritualize it. The best process is to do the sadhana. Kaya babalik tayo dun sa sadhana. For one to be able to control this, kailangan strong sadhana mo. If not, ano ka na lang, Jose Marichan. Nag-hello na ba si Jose Marichan? Siya yung kumakanta ng Pampasko, di ba? So yes, di ba? So that's spiritualizing the lust and anger through the process of Bhakti Yoga. Actually, may mga yoga asana to control the sexual urges din. So these are our three. The activities that we need to link. Tyaga, we should not be an immature spiritualist, escaping. We should not do this. It is immature. Usually, ginagawa ito ng mga bago unified sa spirituality. Alis na ako sa responsibilities ko. Face it. Just like Arjuna, face it. Face your family and all. Pero kailangan mas ready ka. Alam mo kung paano mag-deal. your responsibilities, your duties. Unless your calling is to become a monk. But you're still not escaping. When you're a monk, much more time you'll do to serve. Yung family ko, wala akong immediate family. Kayo yung family ko. I'm spending much time. Diba? I'm doing service. Mas may oras pa yung householder, yung may bahay, may family. So same, but it's not the reason to escape. And even suicide is not spirituality. Drugs is not spirituality. Rungs of ladder, that is yung diniscuss natin. Animalistic life, karma candy. Sa kama karma, niskama karma, dhyana yoga, ashtanga yoga, bhakti yoga. So hindi nyo kailangan kabisaduhin yun. Doon tayo sa express elevator. Express elevator. What we should do? Sadhana. That's the first step. So it's my duty to remind you. Si Marina, i-remind ko araw-araw. Kala mo. Even one round a day. Just try it for this course. It will help us to understand much more. With that clarity, it will help us understand much more. You're investing 1 hour of your day, 30 minutes for your assignment. Then, better get the full experience. Chant what? 10 rounds? 10 minutes for one round? You're spending a lot of time in the internet though. Saka sa traffic. So, get the full benefit of this course by doing this. It will not harm you. Rather, like, if you wish to read some feedback I could send you, there's few I have, but of course I don't post it. We'll make a newsletter, like even yung mental stability niya. Actually huminto nga siya ng medicine. Naka-chanting siya ngayon. So ang dami. Clarity ng buhay niya and all. Depression na wala. That's material. Pero yung connection kay Krishna is the ultimate goal. And they feel much more connected. And that is the eternal enemy natin. If we are doing this, ano yung kailangan magiging aware ka? Ano yung pwede maging troubleshoot na kailangan mong pagandaan? Lust. Because it's always there. It's in the senses, the mind, and intelligence. You are not them, and the lust is there. You must be in control to spiritualize the lust into love. So I'm going extra overtime tayo. Sorry for that. Assignment. This is due next Thursday. Read the verse and purport 4.34. Much better if you could send me 2 to 3 sentences na realization with this. Memorize the verse translation. Memorization. Right realization, ito, for the verse and purport. So 4.34, very important. So I'm happy, humbled and honored being with your presence araw-araw, every morning. Kompleto yung araw ko. Thank you for joining si John Ray. Nag-join siya ng Japa session, chanting every morning. That's 5:30 to 7. You can log in and log out anytime if you wish to chant with us 1 round, 2 rounds. You know? If you wish to chant with us 1.5 hour, much better. Makaka-chant ka lang madami. Sila Shay umatin, sila Jonah, McCoy, sila Oliver. And yeah, ang sarap ng gumising na maaga. Solid. 4:30 gising ka na. Okay, mag-yoga ka na. Then 5:30 mag-meditate tayo. May class 7 to 8. Then a little bit rest. Tapos may class ngayon. Pagdating 10 o'clock, ang dami mo na nagawa. Pagdating mo ng 12 o'clock, parang second day mo na. Productivity is there. And yung mood is different because the mode of goodness is there in the morning. So I invite you, hindi siya madali to magising na maaga. Kasi ang dami natin ng reason. Pero it will be easier after 21 days. Minsan nga hindi lang eh. Minsan mas onte, minsan mas madami. Pero it will be easier. You'll be a better person pag productive ka. So yeah, that's the first success na matitik mo dun sa to-do list mo sa isang araw. You wake up earlier than before hanggang ma-reach mo yung right time. Na talagang makaka-perform ka ng yoga asana mo, ng Surya Namaskar. Welcoming Surya. That's the real welcome. That's the real Surya Namaskar. Pero minsan tanghali nag-Surya Namaskar ako. Kasi may classes nga sa umaga. But yeah, I invite you. You can join. Same room, same password. Just chant 1 round, 2 rounds. If you need to sleep again, sleep. If you want to chant dire-diretso, mas maganda. It's different if you're in the association of like-minded person. After pandemic, magsama-sama tayo rito, magkirtan, vegetarian party, mag-yoga party. Tapusin na natin itong pandemic na to. So picture tayo, everyone. Please open your cameras. Don't worry, magka-chat pa rin ako sa inyo kahit di kayo gumagawa ng assignment. Tatanungin ko yung mga rounds inyo. Hello, Dave. Tomorrow pala or Thursday. I just have to check. May ano ba? May number coding na ba sa sa Makati? Parang meron na ba? Wala pa rin. Sa iba parang wala pa eh. Hi, Scarlett. So I need to visit kasi those places, Makati, Manila, tomorrow or Thursday. Depende sa sa coding. So if you wish to meet, catch up, hi, hello, let me know. So picture tayo, everyone. Count of 3. 1, 2, 3. One more, 1, 2, 3. I'm also humbled and honored with your presence. Maraming salamat. Nice seeing you. We have Abby. Hello, Abby. Hare Krishna. We have Caris. Yes, nagulat ako. Kapatid mo pala si Carlo. Yan, si Chloe. Si Gigi. John Ray. Levi, Prabhu. Marina. Mel. Shay. Stella. Yan, si McCoy Prabhu. Oliver Prabhu. RJ. And Jonah Mataji. Maraming salamat. If you need to do your errands, please be vigilant. You can share this consciousness by the best way possible is through our actions. So, wag na tayong tumambay dun sa animalistic life. We've been there for so long. We've been waiting for this self-realization process. So, give it a try. Wala mawawala lang yung mga false desire, mga lust. And if you have some questions, takeaways, or realizations, please let me know. You can send me a message. I'm doing a regular meetup with the students sa Zoom, 1 or 2 students at a time, or minsan 1. They ask questions, far out questions. We talk about a lot of things. So we could do that. Just message me, usually 3 to 5 yon. 30 minutes, 1 hour. Just a bonding for me to also get to know you. And chant your rounds. Lastly, bago kayo malis, please type kung ilang minimum of rounds per day yung ginagawa ninyo. 1, 2, trying 1, trying 2. Yan, sabi ni Oliver. Thanks for initiating reform in me, Prabhu. Beginning with rising early in the morning since we began. Thanks. I hope to see ya. Hare Krishna, Oliver. Ingat. Yan si Oliver kasi yan. Maaga siya gumising kasi nakakasama ko siya araw-araw every morning. Diba? Nag-improve. From 9 o'clock dati per class. Ngayon, minsan 6 o'clock. Nandun na siya. Hare Krishna, ingat sa dagat. Yan, isa-save ko to. We have GG1, January 3, Caris 1 with Smiley. Masaya niyang ginagawa. Stella 3, si RJ 2, si Shay 2, Chloe 1, Levi 2 to 3, Mel. Tala, si Marina hindi na gano'n Kala mo lalagpas ka sa akin don't lie. So, wala pa. So, you can try one. So, I have this list. I'll remind you, I'm your alarm. And always chant. Hindi naman importante yung quantity, pero mas importante yung quality of chanting. Hindi nyo kailangan magmadali. Yung mga monk, 16 rounds. No. Slowly. The process of Krishna consciousness, this yoga is, I'll join tomorrow morning. I wake up 5 every day. Whoa! Okay. Sige. I'll see you. So the process is not a marathon, not a sprint. or a shooting star na biglang mawawala sa umpisa lang. It's a lifestyle, a marathon. Slowly but surely. Like yoga sana, hindi mo pwedeng biglain, injury ka. So same in the process. So just like yoga, you practice yoga not just in the yoga mat, but also outside. Same with the yoga philosophy, Krishna consciousness. You're Krishna conscious off the mat, on the mat, in the Zoom call, and your 24-hour daily life. So I'm happy to be with you palagi. Ingat. Be vigilant. Hope to see you soon. Bye. Hare Krishna. Mag-join 2-3 rounds in the morning. Yes, Caris. You can join, log in, and log out anytime. Chant your rounds and log out. We could do that. I'm looking forward to meeting you sa mga Japa session. Bye. Hare Krishna. High five.